You know, when we moved into this house 2 years ago, I didn't care about the normal things everybody else cares about, like the kitchen or the bathrooms, all that stuff. I wanted to know, where can I put my workshop? Where can my tools go? And unfortunately, in a house like this, which is a little bit older, it was built in 1941, spaces aren't that big and open. So I was left with this. We had an old unused oil tank, we had asbestos in the floors, we had no lighting. So I had to start from scratch. Let me show you. So here's where I'm at after about 2 years here in the house, and it's always a work in progress, but that's part of the fun of having a workshop. Now, in my case, we're really tight in here, right? It's very small. It's maybe 10 feet by 10 feet. So I thought it might be fun to show you guys 4 ways that I saved space here, and maybe you can use those same ideas in your workshop. The first one is right here. So the first problem I had was, how do I cut long pieces of wood in such a small space, like 8-foot long common lengths for trim and stuff like that? So what I did was, I positioned my miter saw right here and then literally cut a hole in the wall. That way I could slide any length of wood I want in and out with no problem. Now, let me show you how I did it. So all I really did was to simply frame an opening into the wall. But the main thing you need to remember is to make sure that your opening is as big as the widest piece of wood you're ever going to put through there. Let me show you one final thing. I decided to add a door. Why a door? Well, 2 reasons. Number 1, I've got 2 dingling cats who I do not want in my workshop at any time. And number 2, I want to keep the dust out because there is a finished basement out here and I want to keep it clean. Let me show you now the next tip. Tip number 2 involves vertical space, right? What's above us? We have to utilize every bit of space. I've been struggling to find a place to store my nail guns until I found this. These are really cool. These are these nail gun hangers. Now, nail guns have a universal fitting, and these holders accept that fitting, so it's easy to just snap it into place. Now on to tip number 3. You know, over the years I've amassed quite the amount of corded tools. I haven't really graduated yet to everything being cordless. So until then, I needed a way to store my most used tools up and out of the way. So I built this little cubby system here, and you can see it's custom made for each tool. But the main thing I really wanted to deal with were the cords themselves. I don't like wrapping the tools up in the cords. So I created these dedicated little cord holders, and that way it comes out easily when you're ready to use the tool. And then when you're done, it's just as easy as putting it back in, wrapping it up, and porting it in there nice and neatly. Now, finally, tip number 4. And I'm talking about casters, wheels. You want to put everything you can on wheels, and that's, of course, because we can bring things in and out as we need them and maximize the space. For example, my table saw here, I bring this in and out as I need it, and it really frees up space when I don't need it. Now, as an added benefit, having things up off the floor, in my case, I'm in the basement, which is very damp, it's going to keep everything nice and dry. So whether you've got a large work area or a small one like mine, there's always ways to save space.